Alright, going to work on a little Briggs again today, and the engine itself is just about done. All we have to do is make a cap for this spring here, and then the engine itself will be done, but then we still have to make a gas tank and something to hold it on with. So, but before we start, there were a couple comments, a couple questions, and I'm going to throw you up on a tripod and we'll answer them and then get right into this. Alright. Alright. Yeah, one of my long-time subscribers asked how I clean and polish these shafts up. Dwayne, I believe it was Dwayne Johnson. Not The Rock, just Dwayne Johnson. And, you know, stuff like this I usually don't show because, you know, I just go to it and get it done. But since he asked, I used emery paper, you know, emery cloth. You know, I had a roll with this, and this is, I think I told him 150, but it's actually 120. And just ripped a little section off and stuck it on there and just polished it up like that, just like the old shoe shine board. And then when it got bright, I turned the shaft a little bit, and did a little more, and just kept going around the shaft. And this one here, this shaft doesn't turn, so just did that, and then when that got clean, just went off to the side here, and then just kept going around the whole thing, and that's it. You know, it cleaned right up. Like I say, these weren't that bad. They look bad, but they're actually in excellent condition. Just had surface rust. So, all right. And then another question was about that valve grinder I had, the egg beater valve grinder. So let me get this off the table, and I'll get that, and we'll talk about that for a minute or so. Alright, yeah, the other question was about this this valve grinder I had here. You know, it operates like an egg beater, you know, and I explained how it worked, but some people just didn't get the gist, and I understand that without seeing the mechanism, it's tough to comprehend. But, you know, you turn it, and you just rotate it, and this handle rotates just like an egg beater, but this end down here goes back and forth. See, it goes to the right and back to the left, and to the right, back to the left, and that's how you grind valves. You know, almost like when you're starting a fire. You know, you rub the stick like that, and it goes like that. But let me take this apart real fast. Let me get a rag here because this is full of grease. But let me show you the internals on this, and you guys will get a better idea. This is held on with a spring, so I gotta watch it just don't jump out at me. Let me get this other side here off. Keep it squeezed together. I did grease it, so I don't know how greasy. I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see. But like I say, this got a little spring holding this thing on. There we go. There's the spring. And then this is a tab. Let me get the tab off out of the way. Alright. Alright. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. But this big gear in the back is only on half of that face there. Let me see if I can turn it and get close so you can see it. There you go. You see now this whole side here, there aren't any teeth. But on this side, whoop, we almost lost you there. On this side right here, it has teeth. So when you turn it, those teeth come around, and right now they're engaging the top, and then when it goes around, they'll engage the bottom on that conical gear. So that's how that works. All right. Hopefully you guys understand that a little bit more now. I'll get it close on you. Oh, you see the way that was spinning? That's what that spring is for. It holds everything, presses everything in place. Interesting. See, right now it's not engaged in any gear, so it's not turning anything. Very interesting. Genius. Whoever came up with that idea was genius. All right. I hope you guys that didn't understand that see how it works now. Alright, let's get down to business. Alright, what we got to do now is we got to try and replicate this. This is off the other engine there. I'm just using this for size. And what this does is where you at? This holds that spring, and then when you put this on here, that cap just holds the spring in place, and that gives you tension on your foot pedal here. So we got to replicate that. It shouldn't be too tough. So what I did is I went out on a scrap pile and I found this like a bottom of a table or something, but this is actually two thicknesses, two different pipes, and the inside pipe is about the same diameter as our cap here. So all I have to do is find a washer. We'll cut that off and find a washer that fits in there and weld it, and we should be good. Put a little slit in it and it'll be as good as factory. Got another washer here, it might go on the outside, so I don't know what we're going to do. So let me cut this off and just get the pipe out, and we'll see how it looks. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I like the size of that. And I think I'm going to go with this thicker washer here because it fits better. Fits right in there. Oops. There we go. So now I'll clean that up and we'll weld that, and then we'll cut it to size. And then we should almost be done. Alright, yeah, we got that welded up, and usually I'm not a big fan of Road King's MIG welding, but I must say that looks okay. Not much cleanup there at all. So let me grind that down and make it look decent. Alright, yeah, we got that all filed down and ground up, and we're happy with it. It looks pretty good. Matter of fact, here's the original one. I can't tell the difference. But actually I can. The one I made looks a little better, a little beefier, and more substantial. But from afar, nobody could tell. So what do you say we put it on? Gotta put the spring in like this, thusly, and stick it on there. Put the bolt in there. And swing this around so it hits that bolt down there. Can you see that? It hits that bolt. And then you turn it like that, and that spring will put tension on it. See if I can tighten this without getting in your way. There we go, I think I did it. This is a special bolt too. It's real skinny, real thin. So you can barely get that wrench on there, but there you go. Okay, see, that tells us that we got to tighten it a little bit more. Let me get over here. Let me get out of your way. What you actually need is somebody to twist this while another person tightens it. Okay, you tighten it again. Like I said, it's a real skinny bolt. Okay, look at that, much better, much better. Boom, boom, boom. All right, yeah, I like that. You know, I was going to paint that black, but I think I'm going to paint it silver now because I like the way that looks. It stands out. And somebody will say, wow, look at that nice cover. Alright, we're done with that. Let's try and find a gas tank that we can make work on this, and then make a bracket, or we might have to make the whole gas tank, I don't know. But I'm going to look into that, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Alright, yeah, that was worth the time to save 25 bucks, huh? Some scrap metal and a 2-cent washer, a little bit of welding. Alright, here's what we came up for a fuel tank. This is what goes on there originally, but this is for another project, and these are really hard to come by. There was a guy that reproduced them, but they were expensive. They were like 70 bucks or something. But anyway, there would be a bar coming out of here, and this would sit here. The gas tank would come down, and the gas line would just come down and make an S loop and go into the fuel hole there. But like I said, this was too expensive, so this is what I was planning on doing. But I changed my mind. I was going to take a quart can like this and lay it on its side, and it's almost the same identical size and shape. But to do that, I would have to solder on a fuel cap, which is no problem. But then I would also have to cut this side out and get rid of that. I'll probably put that in the middle. And like I said, cut this out and put a piece of steel in there so we can install one of these fuel valves. And I would have to put a piece of steel in there, rivet it, so I could thread it and put this in there, these check valves. So there's a lot of work in that, and one of the reasons I didn't want to do is because these are a little flimsy. So I looked in the shed to see if I had a little gas tank, and I had something like this. It's a little bigger, and that would fit. It would look okay, and most people wouldn't know the difference. Get rid of this bracket. But I would need another gas cap, and it's odd that these plastic gas caps sort of have their own thread. So, you know what? I wonder if I could, probably cut that off and put another cap. But anyway, still a lot of work. So let me get this out of the way. This is what I decided to come up with. I have these tanks from the 5S Briggses, and they're pretty common. And they have a hole in it, and they have that plate already welded in there. So to tap that and put a check valve in there, it's almost the right size. It's just a little bit too big. So to put a check valve in there, I would have to weld these two holes up, and then maybe put a little weld in here on that hole and re-drill it, and then tap it, and we'll be fine. So that's the least amount of work. And to the average person that don't know that tank don't belong there, it wouldn't make a difference, and it would mount there, and the fuel would come right down here, or the fuel line, and it will be fine. So I think that's the route we're going to go. And I got my little buddy coming over tonight for engine night, and I'll have him weld that because he got a little better eyes and he'll steady your hand and stuff. So he should be able to weld that up so I can re-drill it and tap it. So that's the way we're going to go. And over the years, I've been experimenting with all kinds of check valves, and I finally came up with one that I liked, and it was probably the simplest. You know, you need a check valve, you need a little ball and stuff, and I came up with this. And I even made a little screen on the bottom. Can you guys see that? Are we going in and out of focus? But anyway, that's what I came up with. If you can hear it, it's got a little ball in there, so fuel will go up but won't come back down. And I can make it any size I want with a brass tube. So that's where we're going to go. And I even made this nut here. You know, that's made out of a piece of hex stock, and then put a fitting on the top. So what I'm going to do is I have an old original one here that came with the Briggs, but the end is short and doesn't have the check valve. I think it's the check valve that was on there. It was all rotted and rusted and no good. So what I'll do is I'll heat that up, pull it out, unsolder it, and then I'll make this to the right length, and we'll be good to go. So this will be the easiest way out, and I think the probably the best looking. So that's where we're at. So we'll get back to you after my buddy welds that up. Maybe I'll even catch him welding if we remember. All right, we'll see you then. All right, I'm gonna weld them holes up now. Got my little buddy, little dirt bike. Oh, look at it, he shook his head and his helmet went down. Let the guy see. There you go. Here we go. And Daddy Dirt Bike, he's our fire watch. If you smell something burning, buddy, you let us know. So, oh, you know what? All right, go ahead. I'll look through the screen.
All right. Do they know what's going on?
Yeah, I explained to him.
All right. Well, let's do it then.
All right.
I'm going to start by filling in those holes.
All right. Go ahead, buddy. Oh, that looks good. Should empty the fuel out first, huh?
Oh, man.
All right. Alright, looks like my buddy's done here. Looks pretty good, man. Put some light on there. That'll be good. What I got to do is drill that out to 37 64ths and tap it with this. This is a 5/8 18, I think. So, alright, I'm going to do that, and we'll see you guys when that's done. Alright, we ground that down, cleaned up the tank, and we threaded it. See if we can see there. And it doesn't look like many threads. There's only about 3 threads there. But then if you look at the check valves and everything, there's only 3 threads on there. So it all holds up. You know, you really don't crank down on them anyway. So alright, what we got to do now is this is a little too short, and these check valves are no good. So I'm going to unsolder these and lengthen. It's got to be about another inch. Let me see. Gotta come where my thumb is, yeah. So it's about an inch longer, 3/4 or an inch longer. So you hear the check valve in there? All right, so that's what we're gonna do. Let me see. I didn't even check the threads on here. I just assumed they were good. Trying to put this in the left hand there. There we go. That's all you need. Alright, so we're happy with that setup there. And maybe we'll take it out and paint it and fix our check ball, and then we'll get a bracket to hold that thing on. Alright. Alright, here's what we came up with for the mounting bracket for the gas tank. I'm going to mount it back here, which is where they normally would have had it. They attach a piece of metal here. This is 1/4 inch, so this is strong. You could lift the engine from this thing. This ain't going anywhere. This ain't gonna bend or anything. So I'm gonna go with this 1/4 inch piece, and I'm gonna weld a little L piece on here to help support it, because this tank isn't flat on the bottom. It's got these little sumps. So I got this little bit of area here to work with, and I'm gonna solder 3 studs on here, and then it'll sit on here like this, and we can bolt it. We can bolt it to the bottom, and it's almost even. I have to sort of offset it, because you want to leave room for the kick pedal, or else everybody will be stepping on the gas tank and screwing the pooch, if you know what I mean. So that's what we're gonna do. I gotta cut this end off here, and then weld that piece on, and weld some studs. I'm just going to solder the studs on the tank because that's how these tanks are put together, with solder. So, and it's pretty strong. So that's what we're going to do. Alright. Yeah, I'm liking that. I mean, it's a little off center. I mean, it goes past the shroud. It would have been nice if I could have kept it in, but, you know, you got to leave room for the pedal here. You know, somebody with their big feet step on that and then step on the tank, so it had to be done. Alright, take a look at it, see what it looks like. Now I just got to drill 2 holes here, and then we'll solder some studs on the bottom of that tank. Alright, I'm liking it. Alright, got that bracket all welded up and made up, and I'm happy the way it came out. And I welded I didn't weld the studs, I soldered them. It's just solder, you know, plumber solder. And them studs ain't coming out. They're just bolts. I welded the tips down and then cut the tops off. And luckily it lined up okay. It went on like it had eyes. So I did make these 5/16 because I knew it wasn't going to be perfect and they're only 1/4 inch bolts. But hey, that's what we do, right? Alright, let's try this on for size, see what it looks like. I was going to take this out and paint it, but this video is probably getting a little long in the tooth. Alright, that looks good right there. Alright. Put these bolts on the bottom. There we go. Yeah, don't worry about that solder. That solder will hold up just fine. Got it on. Let's tighten up just a little bit. Alright. I'll say that's pretty good. That ain't going nowhere. Look at it. Go. I had to twist it a little bit, make it square. But I'm liking it. What do you guys think? Let me know. Alright. It's probably enough for now. The video's probably getting pretty long. I guess the next video we'll make that check valve and paint this up and put it together, and maybe we'll get it working. We'll see if it starts. But I'll tell you what, I got the door open. Let's take a walk outside. It's February 15th here on the east coast of the United States, and it's 65, maybe 68 degrees out here. That's crazy. I don't remember last time I seen that. So let's call it 68. 68 degrees in South Jersey, February 15th. All right. Enough of this, huh? All right. See you guys on the next one.